channel. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time, welcome. Glad you can be here. Today we got Jam Baxter, Salsa Valentina. This track came out last week and I had a few people asking for it. I apologize, it's taken me to this week, but as you guys know, if you watch my videos, last week was a little bit different than usual in terms of my video output. So, getting right to Jam. He is, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of his. Put him on the same, him and Ed on the same level in terms of their ability as a writer. Even taking the whole lyricist and performer out of it, they are on a level all their own in terms of I consider Jam a poet more than anything. The guy is a damn genius, the way he paints pictures with his words. So my guess is this one's not going to be any different. I always laugh because I did that one song. It's escaping me now, the title, but I spent like a half an hour breaking down the song, every bar, dissecting it, unpacking that shit, and basically you find out that it's just basically a track about him getting too high and going out for a date. But hey, man, that's what art does. That's what great art does to somebody. So, without further ado, let's jump in, see what Jam has for us today. Son of a bitch. Helps if I start that first. Here we go.
Stripped of your sense of awareness, we can't correct your impairments. There's two of me stood getting drunk on the porch with a list of your failures, dressed as your parents. One quick slap from the sky, turn a man to a mountain, a vash on a prayer mat. Must have been ordered, the champagne flutes clink clinking and fuck with his whole head bareback. In the ship's 10 red wines deep, got too pissed, got my ex-man reach. You keep living your best life, be your man zen like friends live 10 lives each. All slugged by a bonfire, burning up bridges, chewing their flesh like sweets. Soon they'll arrive to inspect my teeth, cover that stain with a fresh white sheet. You're losing your mind to touch.
Okay, first off, man, the way he starts this track about a list of the failures dressed as your parents. What a friggin' dope bar, man. But as Jam, he always does, man. You can break that down a couple different ways, and I think of that as the fact that a lot of people complain or they blame their parents and their childhood on everything that's happened to them now. So if your dad was an alcoholic, abusive asshole, and if you are now an abusive alcoholic asshole, then you don't own that shit. You say, well, I'm this way because my dad was this way. But then at the same time, a lot of horrible parents, rather than raising their children up, they spend all this time, punching down and burying their kids because maybe they had a shitty childhood. So they treat their kids like shit, and then, then they fail their children. Man, that's crazy. And that one bar, man, too, about you'll come to check my teeth and then cover that stain with a fresh white sheet, I think he's saying. It'd be so easy to misinterpret that bar because he talks about something about chewing and getting like the sweets, chewing on the sweets. So people think sweets and teeth and thinking like rotting out your teeth. So dentist type of idea. But like I'm thinking, because he's talking about burning bridges. So you burn bridges and then you come and they're going to cover that stain. So somebody kills his cat and all you have left is the dental records to check. And then like they cover the remains with a sheet. Like coroners do in the TV shows and shit. I don't even know if they do that in real life, but they cover that with a sheet because all you have left is the teeth, dental records to base that on. Man, what a friggin' dope way to start this track. Deep again. It seemed like a whole lot of different messages here. I'm interested to see where he goes with this because he goes from everywhere. From it sounds like drinking booze, meditating, like prayer mats. Like let's keep going.
Piss call my ex might reach. You keep living your best life, be your mind send like friends live 10 lives each. All slumped by a bonfire, burning on bridges, chewing their flesh like sweets. Soon they'll arrive to inspect my teeth, cover that stain with a fresh white sheet. You're losing your mind a touch, dropped your face in the sink again, replaced by a bright red snooker ball, eyes drawn on with a silver pen. I asked that mug what the problem was.
What does that mean about drop your face in the sink again? Does that mean like a woman washing off her makeup? Is that what that means? Because like you wash it off, it goes in the sink. I don't know.
You're losing your mind a touch, dropped your face in the sink again, replaced by a bright red snooker ball, eyes drawn on with a silver pen. I asked that mug what the problem was. He built off a list of some richer men, then ran up in a club with a dagger in his mouth. Now we staggering around trying to swing for them. It's like please, life's not as bleak as it feels, coughing up phlegm when you're eating your meals. I filled the cup, leaned in and said, miss, this is your train wreck, I'm just greasing the wheels. She necked it back, then stumbled inside with a drunken excitement that creeps at her heels. We sold our souls to the man at the door, but the grams of the raw shore sweet in the deals. You can shut your mouth, I feel me lost in. I tell them when I'm talking.
Okay, before they get into this hook, man, I've said it before. I love when these artists, man, they put a female artist, whether it's singer or a rapper, in the hook. It always has a soft spot for me. I freaking dig it when it's done well. It just hits different. I just get this sense with this track, man, because he's talking about. It's almost to me like he's talking about. Everyone's got like that skeleton in their closet, so to speak, or they got that vice. Because he was talking about life's not as bad as you think, and the guy's coughing up blood, so maybe he's a smoker. The guy's giving the girl alcohol, and it's like he's an enabler, and it's like, this is your train wreck, like, I'm just greasing your wheels. And she's an alcoholic, so she goes out of the house with her vice, her alcoholism, following her out the door. Like, I'm just wondering if that's kind of what he's getting at, is like, because even at the very top of this track, man, it's like when you I don't know the exact words again, but kind of about like, if once you start to lose your sense of self, so to speak, lose your sense of what's right and what's wrong, like the worst of you starts to take over. I'm kind of thinking that that's what he's getting at with this. And he's even talking about you're living your best life, which is something that people talk about stuff now. Which that in itself can even be almost an addiction, cult-like behavior type of idea. And he's like, as you're doing that, me and my friends have lived 10 full lives or something. Like, I think that's really what he's getting at here, is that, yeah, man, we all have our shit, and we all have our own vices, our own demons, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, man, it's friggin' awesome, this track.
Put off a list of some richer men, then ran up in a club with a dagger in his mouth. Now we staggering around trying to swing for them. It's like, please, life's not as bleak as it feels, coughing up.
That's another one I meant to mention too, yeah, because even that guy, like he says, the guy runs in, he has a problem with rich men, so like he goes in the club trying to swing and kill these guys because he probably blames them for everything that's wrong with him. Yeah, man, I think I'm onto something. We'll see.
In his mouth, now we staggering around trying to swing for them. It's like, please, life's not as bleak as it feels, coughing up phlegm when you're eating your meals. I filled the cup, leaned in and said, miss, this is your train wreck, I'm just greasing the wheels. She necked it back, then stumbled inside with a drunken excitement that creeps at her heels. We sold our souls to the man at the door, but the grams of the raw shore sweet in the deals. You can shut your mouth, I feel me lost in. I tell them when I'm talking, you can see it's not a problem. I'm just checking if you're real. What you saying, what's the deal? I said, hold my head for a minute, I'll be back in one sec. I've been out here getting birds, we getting upset. You are not a real one, I was out eating, you are unfit. And you gonna get clean with a tap from 1 o'clock grip. I said, hold my head for a minute, I'll be back in one sec.
Okay, I have a feeling this is just gonna fucking crazy here. Because even like that thing too, man, like that hook, it's almost like there's two hooks to this song, which is pretty cool here. But like, is it kind of like everyone's got their shit? Stop complaining but like start focusing on your own shit rather than focusing on other people's shit as well. Because I think also a message in it, like, because like he's like Jam is saying, like, I've been busy out here doing my thing, and you're concentrating on me, doing my thing, and you say this about me, but really it's like this. I don't know, man.
I was out here, you were unfit. How you gonna get clean with a tap from one o'clock? I said, hold my head for a minute, I'll be back in one sec. I've been out here getting burst, you be getting upset. You were not a real one, I was out here, you were unfit. How you gonna get clean with a tap from one o'clock? I've been up here in the dark, throwing coins in your head, man. I spent the last month on the moon. There's locked in the sewers in a full clown costume, thinking they gotta send somebody.
Bringing that shit back, man. I gotta hear that.
How you gonna get clean with a tap full on the block? I've been up here in the dark, throwing coins in your head, man. I spent the last month on the moon. There's locked in the sewers in a full clown costume, thinking they got us.
One more time. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
How you gonna get clean with a tap full on the block? I've been up here in the dark, throwing coins in your head, man. I spent the last month on the moon. There's locked in the sewers in a full clown costume, thinking they gotta send somebody soon. Boy Scouts boil up junk on a spoon. A bride's in seat in the guns of the groom. The last of the year got sucked from the room, and then she ran like a punctured balloon. We danced all night till.
Okay, yeah, man. Like, he's talking about. I gotta admit, I missed some of that shit at the beginning because that beat, friggin' Some Guy, man, just blew my friggin' brain. But even that, like you say that, like the Boy Scouts even the Boy Scouts are doing heroin, I think is kind of what he's getting at. And usually, like over here, Boy Scout is, it might be over there too, but when you call somebody Boy Scout, it means you're like, infallible type of idea. You do everything right. You're a golden boy, all that kind of shit. So he's basically saying, like, even the Boy Scouts are doing heroin or shooting drugs or doing shit they're not supposed to do. And I know I missed all that shit, so I'm gonna bring this back.
Friend coins in your head, man. I spent the last.
Not far enough.
You were not a real one. I was out here. You were unfit. How you gonna get clean with a tap full on the block? I've been up here in the dark, throwing coins in your head, man. I spent the last month on the moon. There's locked in the sewers in a full clown costume, thinking they gotta send somebody soon. Boy Scouts boil up junk on a spoon. A bride's in seat in the guns of the groom. The last of the year got sucked from the room, and then she ran like a punctured balloon. We danced all night to an old funk melody. 1 week later, she fucked all 10 of me. Whispered in my ear, this will all end messily, and slipped me a pill to erase my memory. Use this bitch. 2 swift kicks to the crotch, had me pulling my.
Friggin' brilliant, man. He brings back in the 10 because he's lived 10 lives, and he goes, she's fucked all 10 of me. Friggin' sweet that he did that. And that line where she gives him, they've known each other for a week, but she gives him that pill that erases his memory, and then the very next line is, use this bitch. Oh my god. Oh man, Jam is killing this track, dude.
Night to an old funk melody. 1 week later, she fucked all 10 of me. Whispered in my ear, this will all end messily, and slipped me a pill to erase my memory. Use this bitch. 2 swift kicks to the crotch, had me pulling my words from mid-air. Bare kids trying to get in my head. You'll never find your purpose in there. I sat behind it, burning his hair. Somebody put this virgin in care. I sneak out every evening to feed the packs of wild dogs and circle his lair. She spent her life in a toy box, and all the devil's children are teething. That explains that chewed off smile now. Somebody check if she's breathing, I'll be right back. You were all backstage doing bare gap. Vampires out and the blood is on.
Freaking switches up the beat again. What is this, the 3rd or 4th time he switches the beat? I gotta hear this track a bunch of more times, man, because this whole section where he's talking about the virgin and wild pack of wild dogs. Chewing off some chick's smile or something.
And all the devil's children are teething. That explains that chewed off smile now. Somebody check if she's breathing, I'll be right back. You were all backstage doing bare gap. Vampires out and the blood is on tap. All safe havens drop off the map. Bare crushed tablets filling that gap. All of the insects call for a crack. She's used to wear shell, but used to work well. My goons prefer hell, the universe fell at my lap. You can shut your mouth, I feel we.
Man. Yeah, this definitely is one of those tracks, man, that I'm going to need a lot more time with. But this whole last part, man, talking about she used to wear a shell, so she used to block all that shit out. But also talking about crushing the pills. My friends prefer hell. The universe fell in my lap. Like, there's so much stuff there. I'm going to hear it one more time. Not that I'm going to be able to catch any. I'm just dumbfounded by this, man.
Filling that gap. All of the insects call for a crack. She's used to wear shell, we used to work well. My goons prefer hell, the universe fell at my lap. You can shut your mouth, I think we lost it. I tell them when I'm talking in your skin, it's not a problem. I'm just saying if you're real. When you say them, what's the deal? Your mama, what's the deal? I said hold my head for a minute, I'll be back in one sec. I've been out here getting personally getting upset.
I wonder if he means like hold my head, I'll be back in one sec. So I'm wondering if that's kind of like him talking to the drugs, perhaps. I'm gonna fill my head with drugs and like you take up that space, and let me go away for a bit. I'll be back. I wonder if that's what he's meaning by that. And I think too, where he's talking about when they're crushing the drugs and it fills the cracks. It's kind of like that thing where people turn to drugs and alcohol and sex and any kind of depravity to fill the spaces in them that they feel that are missing something. Those it's what a tremendous way of doing it. But then he's talking about the insects crawl through those cracks.
You are not a real one, I was out here, you are unfair. How you gonna get clean with a tattoo on the block grip? I said hold my head for a minute, I'll be back in one sec. I've been out here getting blessed, be getting upset. You are not a real one, I was out here, you are unfair. How you gonna get clean with a tattoo on the block grip?
Another friggin' masterpiece, man. Seriously, what this dude does, man, it's just ridiculous. Oh, I mean, the first one I did from Jam on Blah was that Knee to the Face, I think it was called. That to me felt like a Blah track. This one doesn't feel like a Blah track to me, so to speak. From what I've heard from Blah, there's obviously that style. This doesn't feel like it falls into that category. Obviously, it's still a Blah track, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, yeah, man, that friggin' hook talking about, I'm trying to eat and you're already fed and you're still talking shit. So there's so much going on, man. Like I said, another masterpiece. Jam is. It's so sad that artists like this are so underappreciated, because people don't want to take the time, man. I think that's what it is. People's attention spans are so limited these days that they need to listen to a hip hop song that repeats the same thing over a dozen times, as long as the beat is good enough that'll rattle your speakers in your car. Like, that's all that matters to people, man. And to have something like this where I want to listen to this track a dozen times because I want to unpack it. It's kind of like, when I was first introduced to Pink Floyd when I was a kid, man. You don't listen to Pink Floyd once and then walk away knowing what that shit's all about. That takes freaking years, man. People don't want to take time. They don't want to take something and feel it anymore. It's just, give me some generic bullshit to tide me over until the next generic bullshit drops tomorrow. My little rant of the day. Anyways, another great track. Jam killed it again. Some guy on a whole other level. Well done. Every aspect of the video was sick. Birthday's tomorrow. Hope you guys check it out. I'm gonna go check out the video. My boy Jake, who I met through this channel, I told him, hey man, Leafy's my boy. I want to do Leaf Dog track. So he sent me 2 tracks that he told me I should do. It's gonna be back-to-back Brothers of the Stone tomorrow. As a celebration of my 47th, yes, 47th birthday. Now all you cats know how really old I am. Anyways, man, love each and every one of y'all. Thanks for coming by again. And until tomorrow, stay safe and be good to each other.